Do it.
Behind a few feedback things. Show you them all day out.
How the economic machine works in 30 minutes. The economy works like a simple match their tone.
Man, this was a really nice day. Like 70s.
That's what I was.
No.
That's a part of the day.
Give it a couple more minutes here and we'll get started. Hey, there we go. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Give you a couple more minutes here and I'll get started. You're running a little late this morning. I guess I forgot I moved it to 8 o'clock instead of 9.
Oh, yeah.
That's my fault.
Looks like this one's pretty short though, so pretty good though. It's got some good stuff in here.
Okay.
Well, I doubt there's gonna be a mass of people jumping on, so I'll go ahead and get started. Like I said, this is pretty good. It's just talking about when you're on the phone, just a couple of little tricks and tips to sound better, I guess. We've actually done this one before. I wanted to do it again. It's pretty good.
Okay.
And if you hear anything or whatever that you want to make a comment or whatever, just, I don't know, say, hey, stop the video or something, and I'll stop it.
Okay.
All right, well, we can keep going.
Over and over again in your head or even with a friend. And then when you go to actually make that same prospecting call in real life, it sounds.
Thank you.
Oh.
Have you ever practiced making a phone call over and over again in your head or even with a friend? And then when you go to actually make that same prospecting call in real life, it sounds completely different. It's incredible how different we sound as soon as we start talking to a real live prospect. And there are some very easy tricks that you can use to sound much better when you're on sales calls, so that way the prospect is less likely to immediately think, oh, this is a salesperson, and instead take a minute and actually listen to what you have to say. In this video, I'm going to show you 7 quick tricks to sound great on sales calls. Check it out. Number one, remember, it's just a game. Just imagine if you watch someone approach someone else at a bar and they want to ask that person out on a date. If that person who's making the approach seems really nervous and is trembling in their voice and is shaking, how do you think they're likely to do? Probably not very well. And prospects will feel the same thing about us when we make a call and if we sound nervous. We need to first change our mental game and recognize that this is just a game. They can't hurt us. There's nothing that they can do to us. So we need to go in confident and sounding like we're not nervous. Remember, it's just a game. Number two, talk.
Sounding confident doesn't necessarily mean you have all the answers, though. Some people, you are going to get stumped. People are going to ask you something you've never been asked before, something that might be, seem like a pretty obvious question, but you just hadn't really thought of to look at yet. So just one thing you don't want to do is to sound overconfident. Don't like, say you know something that you don't. Just be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, don't tap dance around it. Don't make something up. If you don't know, just tell them, hey, I don't know. I'll find the answer out for you, though. Or, hey, I'll get back to you on that one. Most of the time, it's not going to, most people aren't going to just automatically think, well, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. It's probably going to actually make you look a little bit better if you don't know all the answers and have to look something up.
Talk like you're with a friend at the bar. I listen to thousands of sales calls every single year. I walk through sales bullpens and I listen and I overhear what salespeople are actually doing when they're on the phone with prospects or customers. And one thing that I notice is that you can almost always tell when a salesperson is talking to a prospect as opposed to talking to someone that they already know. It's so key that we don't use our high-pitched, really excited sales voice where we suddenly improve our vocabulary and use fancier words. If you're with a friend at a bar and you're talking about a new car that you just bought, you're not saying things like, and the best part about it is that it's 300 horsepower, which will allow you to hit 165 out on the freeway. No, of course, you're just going to say, yeah, it's really fast and it's a lot of fun to drive.
Now, saying that, I will say that, like, whenever I'm first talking to somebody, like a lead or whatever, I will use like full terms and more technical terms and stuff like that. And then as I get to know them, I'll start putting in like the acronyms or like the, or the slang terms or whatever. But when I first meet somebody, I do talk to them a little bit different, I guess, than when you get to know them. And I think that's probably just a little bit of, human nature. But like I said, it's kind of he's acting like you should just be, their best friend as soon as you get on the phone, which is okay to a point, but I mean, you still have to, show a little bit of, that you know what you're talking about.
We want to talk to our prospects like we're talking to a friend at the bar. Drop the sales voice. Number 3, take your time and pause. One thing that happens with salespeople a lot of times is that when they actually get a prospect on the phone, they suddenly get excited and they start speaking really quickly and they don't take any breaks because they're so afraid for that prospect to hang up the phone. But what that does is actually send signals to the prospects that you're nervous, that you are moving quickly, and it wakes them up from their trance. It's like watching a movie with bad acting. You need to take that pause, take that time when you're going through your script. So instead of saying, George, let me tell you the 5 reasons that I think you should consider our product, instead, slow it down and say, George, did I catch you at an okay time? Let them respond and move on. Have a slow, consistent cadence, just like you're talking to anyone else. Number 4, match their tone.
And on that, also just remember, whenever you talk to somebody, you're listening to you respond or give an answer. You're not just waiting for your turn to talk, which, I mean, I think a lot of people get into that little trap of, as soon as that, they're just waiting for that person to stop talking so they can throw their thing in there, and they're not really paying attention to what the person's saying. It's real easy to do, actually, whenever you've got a lot of information you want to give somebody. You just got to remember to like take that second and take a breath and actually listen to what they're saying.
Oh, yeah.
This is another big one. The only thing that a prospect can notice about you on the phone is really your voice and your tonality. They can't see you physically. They can't look at your outfit. They can't see what you actually look like. So your tone really matters. So if you're talking to a prospect who has a really hard, loud tone that sounds something like, hello, you don't want to be coming in really quiet and soft. Instead, you want to match that tone. On the other hand, if the prospect answers the phone and it sounds something like, hi, this is Mark, you want to come in and match that tone softly, right? You don't have to be exactly right on, but you want to kind of modulate your voice to generally match what they sound like. Number 5, stand.
Yeah, because you don't want to make it sound like you're mocking them by
Oh
saying
yeah.
talking exactly the same way they are. But yeah, I mean, it's okay to like fluctuate on your speech patterns or whatever. Get a little bit louder whenever you get excited. You know, I mean, drop your tone down a little bit whenever you're saying something that's serious or something they need to remember. Little
Oh,
tricks
yeah.
like that, it kind of helps things stick in their brain. I mean, whenever you're talking one like real up high, real fast and everything, and then you say something a little bit slower and a little bit more intently, that switch registers in their brain, and it's like, oh, I should be listening to this. So I'll pick
Yeah,
that up.
like you say, you don't want to mock them either.
Right. Because I
Uh-huh.
mean, yeah, if you start talking exactly the same way they are and the exact same speed, they're
Uh-huh.
like, is this guy making fun of me?
Uh-huh.
Up. It's so easy to sit down at your desk, slump your shoulders, and make those dials, right? It's not something you're looking forward to, so you're just kind of slumping through and you're on the phone. Instead, if there's any way to do it, stand up when you're on the phone. It comes through. You're breathing with a full breath. You're using your diaphragm. You've got your energy. You're talking as if there's someone right there. Stand up at your desk. If you can prop up your laptop or your computer, or you have one of those cool stand-up desks like I have, stand up anytime that you're speaking to a prospect or you're on an important phone call. It makes a significant difference. Number 6, you.
Okay, I totally agree with that 100%. Everything he said. I mean, your diaphragm being extended makes you sound different, and you don't run out of breath as easy when you're talking. The only thing is whenever I stand up when I'm on the phone, there's no telling where I'm going to end up by the time I get off the phone. Because I'll start walking around. Now, I might, hang up the phone and be out in Kansas somewhere. But yeah, I do agree with that because, like I said, though, I'm a little bit of a walker.
Uh-huh.
Use a hands-free headset. Right? This is just technical and simple, but it makes a big difference. If you're on the phone or you're holding the phone to your ear, say you're using an iPhone or you're using an old school phone, right, and you're holding it to your ear, immediately you're limiting your motion. Always use a hands-free headset. Chances are you already do that, but if you don't, make sure that you do. Even if it's just the earbuds that go with your phone, that's fine, but make sure that you have a hands-free headset that you can speak into, that have a solid microphone and that are in your ear already, so you can just do whatever you want with your hands. You can even move around if you'd like. Makes a big difference. Number 7, SW cubed N. If you've been following.
Write this down. Because this is really,
SWQ.
yeah. He's going to explain it here in just a second, but I really like this saying right here.
Following my content for long enough, you probably know what this means. Some will, some won't. So what next? Let me repeat that. Some will, some won't. So what next? It's so important that you have a good attitude about making calls. They're not all going to go well, and that's fine. They can't hurt you. They can't attack you. They can't do anything to physically harm you. Don't worry. If a call doesn't go well, get right back on the phone and make that next dial. Some will, some won't. So what next? So
that's really important, especially when you're calling FSBOs, because I'm sure Tanya. I mean, FSBOs are a whole different animal. And,
Oh yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it's sometimes you don't have, there's not one thing that you could say or do or anything that once they get on the phone that would keep them on the phone. There are just some people that way, and you just have to, shut it off and go to the next one.
Oh, yeah.
It's about the best way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
There are 7 quick tricks to sound great on sales calls. And if you enjoyed this video, then I have an awesome free training on the data-driven approach to help you crush your sales. Just click.
Okay. So anyway, that was it. I hope you got something out of it.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, I'll repost the thing or on Facebook or whatever. I'm gonna try to figure out. I need to figure out how to get with Glue and get the invitation sent out through the email, company email. I don't have like everybody's email address or how to do that yet.
Oh, okay.
I can sure we can figure that out or whatever. But that way the invitation will be in your email too, and not just on Facebook like it has been.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully we get some more
She
people.
also sent it out on the Friday 5 o'clock text too.
Do what?
She can also send it out on the 5 o'clock text as well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But yeah, we'll get that figured out. So hopefully it'll be a little easier for everybody to top on or whatever.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's going to be a beautiful day today.
Oh, yes.
Just a great day. And if you need anything, you know where to find me.
Okay. See you later.
Later.
Okay. Bye.